Some encounters are written by fate itself. They arrive without warning, without reason, and yet change everything that follows. This is the story of Noah Carter, a simple man with tired eyes and a quiet heart, and Isabella Moreau, one of the most powerful and loneliest women in the city. Noah worked in a small corner cafe where time moved slower than anywhere else. He didn't have much, just a worn-out apron, a gentle smile, and a soul that had already survived too many storms. Every morning, at exactly 8:15, she appeared. High heels, cold eyes, perfect posture. Isabella Moreau. She never smiled, never looked up from her phone. Every word she spoke was clipped and efficient, like emotion was a luxury she couldn't afford. But one morning, fate decided to intervene. Isabella left her wallet on the counter. Noah ran after her. "Ma'am, you forgot this," he called. She turned, and for just a moment their eyes met. It was brief, but something cracked open. Behind the glass walls of perfection, he saw it. A flicker of exhaustion, of quiet pain, the kind only someone who's lost everything could recognize. 2 days later, a black limousine stopped in front of the cafe. A man in a suit opened the door, and Isabella stepped out. Noah nearly dropped the tray he was holding. "Miss Moreau?" he stammered. Her tone was firm. "I need your help." He blinked, confused. "My help? I'm just a waiter." She didn't hesitate. "Not for long. Please, just hear me out." She explained that she was about to sign a billion-dollar merger with a Japanese investor who believed deeply in family, stability, and tradition. The problem was, Isabella was divorced. Her ex-husband was unpredictable, and her 6-year-old daughter, Elena, hadn't spoken a word since the divorce. "I need to appear settled, a family, for just 1 week," she said. "I need you to pretend to be my husband." Noah laughed nervously. "You can't be serious." But her eyes, desperate and trembling for the first time, told him she was. "I'll pay you whatever you want," she added quickly. He shook his head. "I don't want your money." She frowned, and then understood immediately. "Then what do you want?" He took a deep breath. "My daughter comes with me. I don't leave her behind. And I get to help your daughter my way." Isabella hesitated, unsure why this stranger's voice felt like safety. Then she nodded. The Moreau mansion was stunning, but empty. Every room perfect, every sound muffled. It felt less like a home and more like a museum of things left unsaid. When Piper, Noah's 8-year-old daughter, stepped inside, she gasped. "Dad, it's huge!" she shouted, her voice echoing through the halls. Upstairs, Elena watched from behind the door, tiny, fragile, silent. At first, Isabella kept her rules: no shouting, no running, no mess. But slowly, the laughter of one child began to melt the ice around another. Elena started showing up, watching Piper play, then sitting nearby. And on a rainy afternoon, when Noah knelt down and offered her a piece of paper and a pencil, she took it and smiled. Isabella watched from the hallway, tears quietly building behind the walls she'd built for years. For the first time in a long time, she felt something like hope. One night, Isabella found Noah in the garden, watering flowers that had long been left to die. "Why bother?" she asked softly. He smiled. "Because what's been forgotten can still bloom." She didn't answer. She just watched him, trying to understand how a man who had so little could carry so much peace. What she didn't know was that Noah wasn't just a waiter. Before his wife's death, he had been a speech therapist who specialized with children with trauma and selective mutism. Helping Elena wasn't just kindness, it was healing, for both of them. For a while, everything felt almost perfect. Elena smiled again. Isabella laughed sometimes, softly, shyly, as if she were learning how to. Then the past came knocking. Daniel Moreau, Isabella's ex-husband, appeared without warning, handsome, arrogant, poison in human form. "Well, look at you. The Ice Queen found herself a coffee boy," he sneered. Isabella's face turned pale, but Daniel wasn't there for fun. "I know about your deal with Tanaka," he said coldly, "and about this little performance." He pulled out photos of Noah, of the children, of their fake family. "Give me $10 million, or I'll tell the world your marriage is a lie." Noah heard everything, and in that moment he realized the fairy tale had an expiration date. But what broke him most wasn't the threat. It was the look in Elena's eyes when she saw her father again. The same fear, the same trembling hands, the same silence.
That night, the mansion was quiet again. Too quiet. Isabella locked herself in her room. Elena sat by the window, shaking. Noah sat beside her. He took out an old guitar and began to play. A simple, gentle melody that filled the dark with light. He whispered softly, "You don't have to speak, but if you ever want to, I'll be right here." For a long moment, nothing happened. Then slowly, Elena picked up a pencil and wrote on a scrap of paper. "Daddy hurt Mommy." Noah's throat tightened. In that moment, everything made sense. Isabella appeared in the doorway, eyes swollen, shaking. She read the note and broke down completely. She fell to her knees, hugging her daughter, whispering, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." And then, in a voice that trembled but carried all the power in the world, Elena whispered one single word. "Mom." The first word she had spoken in 2 years. Isabella froze, then cried, holding her daughter tighter, thanking God, thanking the silence for ending. And Noah just watched, knowing that sometimes healing doesn't make noise. It simply breathes. But fate has its own cruel sense of timing. The next morning, Noah was gone. No note, no call, nothing. Except for his guitar and a small letter on the kitchen table. Her silence isn't the same anymore. Now it belongs to you. Take care of the sound she found again. Isabella searched for him everywhere. The cafe was closed, his number disconnected. It was as if he had never existed. But at night, when the moonlight spilled into Elena's room, a soft melody would rise from the garden below, the same song he used to play, and Isabella would close her eyes, tears falling silently, knowing he was still out there somewhere, watching, listening, waiting. Months passed. Then one morning, Isabella received an invitation. A new investor, a new project, a new beginning. The meeting was set in a small town outside the city. She walked into the room, her heart racing, and froze. Behind the desk, with a company badge and that same calm smile, sat Noah Carter. He looked up, his eyes warm, almost amused. "Miss Moreau," he said softly, "it's been a while." Her lips parted, but no words came out, only silence. And then that same gentle melody began to play again in the background, because sometimes fate separates two souls just so their reunion can mean something more. The piano fades, silence fills the air, and with one final chord, we're left wondering, maybe this isn't the end after all. Maybe it's just the beginning.